Good evening, Andy. Thank you for joining us after defeat here at Halifax. There's a cliche in football, Andy, which you all know well. It's a game of two halves. None more true so than today, really.
Yeah, well, obviously look at the score. We were 2-0 at half-time and lost 3-2. So yeah, that, like I said, is a cliche, but obviously a true one, and obviously disappointing.
You were deep in discussion with your staff over there before this interview, and trying to obviously pick out the bones of ultimately was defeat in the end. But actually, it was a really good first half performance and such a position of strength at half time.
Yeah, I thought we played well first half. I thought the shape was good. I thought we kept the ball really well. We looked a massive threat at all times. Unfortunately, second half decision making from certain players has cost us and give them a bit of momentum and made it more and more difficult. And also we've lost the game. So yeah, two halves, but even second half we had some chances second half as well. But you know, how many, as we just said, how many goals do you need to score away from home to get anything out of the game? We have to defend better collectively as a group.
We did ultimately lose the heart of the midfield. We lost Ben Milnes through injury, we lost George Morrison shortly after, and that, for any team losing two midfielders, is going to hurt. No disrespect intended to Kyle Finn, Tom Tonks, etc., but that did force a massive reshuffle and ultimately probably had a bearing on the entire game. Yeah,
like I said, I'm never one to come out and make excuses, but that's a fact. We've lost a lot of players recently. We're literally down to bare bones. I've got people coming on who are not in the right position. I've got people coming on who are not really match fit. We're literally stretched the limits, especially midfield-wise. That's 4 central midfielders I'm missing now. I thought Milno and Georgian, they're excellent in there, and that's not a detriment to anyone who comes on. They set high standards, and you bring people on who have not played lots of minutes and perhaps not in the right position, and you move people around, and yeah, that had a massive effect. And I'm not making excuses, because I never do, because we could still eliminate the errors that cost us. But the personnel we had second half, it was dictated a little bit by what we've got available, and that's a fact. And we need to strengthen in certain areas.
Do you put the debacle, if you like, second half, down to the fact that Halifax played so much better than they did first half, or that we really displayed so poorly?
I don't think it's a debacle. I think that's a bit harsh, to be honest. I think they moved the ball well. I think they moved it quickly, and they took some chances. One of them was deflection, one's an absolutely great strike, but we have to look at how we could have eliminated them getting in areas. I don't think we played really, really poorly, because the goalie made a good save. We've had a chance, we've gone through and run into the keeper. We've still had chances, so we played okay. You can't concede goals, but ultimately I don't think it was a really poor performance. I think they upped their game a little bit, and like I said, we made mistakes that have cost us. And what we're learning week in, week out is if you make mistakes, same as last week we played well, we made 2 mistakes and got punished twice. What we're learning is if you make mistakes, you don't pick points up, and that's what happened today. I don't think it was a particularly poor performance, so I think that's a little bit harsh.
Yeah, maybe my choice of words wasn't really adequate, so apologies for that, Andy. But we are where we are. We are 12 matches into the season, 14 points on the board. And I think really if you'd started the season and said, we're 12 games in, 14 points, you'd be happy with that.
Yeah, of course you would, but we had that after 2 games ago. So I'll set standards. I want to do better and better. I want to get as many points as I can. And I feel the last 2 games, because of the situation we've been in, have been missed opportunities. And so we have to deal with that. And like you said, we are stretched to the absolute limit. That is a fact, because we've got a lot of people missing, probably 7 or 8, and I've got people playing and say we're not really, it's too soon for them. Even Curls has come on because we need him. We literally, it's tough, but it's a fact. And that's not me making excuses, because I never do that. It's tough at the moment, and we've got to deal with it. And so I can't fault the effort. Individual mistakes or decision making has cost us today. So a great finish, absolutely. A deflection, that's disappointing. The first goal, I think, was from when we were in attack. They countered and scored. That's disappointing again. But these things happen. You're not going to go 2-0. They're not going to pack up. We know that. They made some changes, good changes, brought some good players on, and that's the difference. We know that. And say ultimately we've come up short. But I can't fault the effort and I can't fault the commitment. And I thought the shape of the team was really, really good, and we looked a massive threat. Unfortunately, we've been punished for mistakes.
Quick turnaround Tuesday sees us play Gateshead at home ahead of what's mouthwater in FA Cup 4th qualifying round tie against Macclesfield. So it's not ideal, is it, going into these 2 big games really in the circumstances we are with the injuries. But it's your job obviously to pick a team out of something, but whoever's available, and the medical staff have really got a job to do this week as well.
Well, I don't think the medical staff are going to get many of them fit, because if they've pulled muscles and that, they're not going to rush them through. It's up to me to try and pick a team. I've got to speak to people. I've got to look at bringing some loans in. That's a fact. or signings, because we can't go the next few weeks with the bare bones. It's, you can't do it. That's a fact, so we've got to look at that. Yeah, we've got 2 massive games this week, including today. Like, there's 3 if you like. This one's gone. We're going to draw a line under it. Like I said, we've talked about it. What I know is the teams that I put out will come out fighting whoever we play, whatever 11/17, 18, if we can fill the bench at the minute, they'll come out fighting, and that's a fact. So it hurts at the minute, because when you're 2-0 up anywhere and you lose 3-2, that hurts. But we'll dust ourselves down like we always do. We'll go again.
Okay, Andy, as always, thank you for your time.
No problem.